ENEA is involved in most activities of ambience project. First of all, we are involved in work package 1 as leaders, which has the main goal to assess in a critical way the enhanced energy performance contracts and demand response services offered by clusters of buildings in Europe in view of the definition of a successful active building EPC concept and business models. I would like to highlight that ENEA is very well qualified to carry out this task through a very strong multidisciplinary research team focusing on flexibility management and demand side to foster energy efficiency also in the context of local energy communities. Moreover, we are also actively involved in all the other technical activities of ambience, for example, in the development of the active building EPC concept and business models, in the development of the ABEP platform, and will be also involved in the validation and implementation of these new concepts in the pilots. Finally, we also cover, let's say, a primary role in the dissemination activities of the project. Indeed, we, let's say, act as content designer for the set of webinars that will be carried out during the first year of the project in order to validate our preliminary results and collect input for our activities in the project. At task level, I'm responsible for task 1.1 within work package 1, which started at the beginning of the project and was already finished on early January 2020. The task had the main goal to provide a comprehensive analysis of directives, policies, measures and regulation in the member states and at European level that are relevant for the active building EPC concepts and business models, and to understand which of them, let's say, constitute a barrier or are in support of this enhanced EPC. We started our analysis with the European Union regulatory framework and vision by focusing the attention on the most recent developments and policies, and actually we found that Europe is on a very good track towards the empowerment of the end user to foster energy transition by putting this latter at the center of the energy system. Demand response and consumer empowerment are integral parts of the energy union through the clean energy package for all Europeans, as they help to reach a secure, competitive and sustainable economy. Then we also, let's say, defined a comprehensive overview of the current directives, policies, measures and regulation in support of the active building EPC concept in the countries represented in the consortium, which are Italy, Belgium, Portugal and Spain. And actually at member states level, we found that Italy and Belgium are in a very good track to, let's say, receive this enhanced EPC active building EPC contract, whereas the situation is quite different for Portugal and Spain, which need to overcome significant barriers in order to let's say, receive this announced EPC. Among the main enablers for the active building EPC in Europe, there are, for example, the strong legislative background established for energy efficiency in buildings, the well-developed EPC market, the establishment of product requirements according to the concept of technology neutrality to guarantee the supply of network services from demand side and improve integration of flexible demand in the market. On the contrary, among the main barriers, for example, there are the insufficiency of market players as aggregators, or the absence of a regulatory framework which allows, let's say, the usage of demand response, in the markets, or the lack of economic and contractual incentives, and the privacy issues for users' data and so on. All the results of these activities have been collected in a document, which is deliverable 1.1, which will be published soon on the Ambience website. It has a very long history of 30 years in energy efficiency field, and at the same time can also count on a very strong multidisciplinary research team focusing on the research topic of flexibility management, demand side, to foster energy efficiency also in the context of local energy communities. I can say that this skill belongs to our laboratory, so the laboratory of smart grids and energy networks. And I can also say that the development of an active building EPC and and the ABPM platform will provide an added value to the activities carried out by ENEA in this field. These innovative concepts and business models could be provided, for example, to the public administration with ENEA support to define methodology for improving energy savings to be used at the central and local levels as a means to implement the various regulations in this field and disseminate the culture of energy efficiency through active control measures. The work package 1 are now proceeding with activities of task 1 and 2, which has the main goal to collect and analyze information of best practice for enhancing DPC concepts and business models, as well as for using building level flexibility for offering demand response services, valorizing the value of flexibility in all forms. In that sense, the work package 1 team is now committed into interviewing a series of stakeholders in Europe, belonging to two categories, the category of flexibility providers and the category of flexibility requesters, in order to understand how buildings currently make use of active control and investigate to which extent and how buildings can provide flexibility for demand response in the context of EPC contracts. This activity will continue until the middle of 2020. Then work package 1 activities will start again during the last phase of the project, actually with task 1.3, and the work package 1 team will be committed to define a series of amendments, changes to the current regulation, measures and policies in order to foster the active building EPC concepts and business models by reflecting the developments achieved in the project. The ideal ending for me is seeing the active building EPC concept and business models validated successfully in our pilots, and also seeing the ambient EPC already in use by our stakeholders identified through the project.